Hi everyone, Grant K here for the Smoke Learning channel. In this video, we're going to take a look at the proxy workflow in Smoke 2016. The proxy workflow has had quite a few modifications to make it more reliable and robust compared to previous versions of Smoke. In terms of backward compatibility with older projects using proxies, Smoke will remap the functionality according to the best match, and you should be able to work on the project as before. Now, proxies in the current version of Smoke are project-based. This means all media in the project will have a proxy equivalent unless using the conditional option. Proxy generation also uses disk storage, so please ensure you have adequate space. So when it comes to proxies, the first place to start is the Smoke startup screen. When you create a project, you set whatever resolution you require. You also have the option to choose a working intermediate. Please bear in mind that whatever format you use will also be the format assigned to the proxies. Now switch over to the Proxy Settings. For Smoke 2016, the proxy settings have been simplified. Proxies can have three states in the application: proxies off, proxies on, and conditional. Proxies off means that the proxy functionality is disabled in the selected project. With proxies on, every frame of media will generate a corresponding proxy frame. With conditional, you can set a minimum frame size limit so that only proxies are generated for larger resolution frames. Next, you choose your proxy settings as either half, quarter, or an eighth of the original resolution. Older settings such as bit depth and proxy pixel resolution have gone away. The only other option is the filtering quality when the proxy is generated. Now we're at the point just before we create this project. It is imperative to understand that once you turn proxies on for a project, you cannot turn them off. Similarly, you cannot turn proxies on halfway through a project. If the situation did occur, then you would have to create a new project with or without proxies and wire between the projects. Now create the project and start the application when it is ready. Once inside Smoke, go into the Media Hub and start importing media. The import operation will start producing proxies in the background. The clips will display a pending render message until the proxies are processed. Any clips that have already been completed can be used while the remainder is still being processed. So the first area of consideration is how to work with proxies when working in the sequence. Near the player controls, there is a pull-down menu to toggle the proxy settings. When it is set to full resolution, whether you scrub the time bar, look at a frame, or even play the sequence, you are always viewing the full resolution media. But when you toggle to proxy resolution or press Ctrl P, the displayed media is always proxies. So the quality will drop, but you will have a much faster and interactive experience. If you zoom into the image and toggle the proxy controls, you should see the image soften. Looking at the viewer information, it is still reporting the original resolution of the media. So internally, the proxy media is scaled instead of scaling the viewer as in previous versions. Hopefully, switching between proxy and full resolution should be less disruptive. The other option in the pull-down menu is Proxy on Scrub. The idea is when you scrub the sequence, the viewer shows the proxies. When you release the cursor, the viewer shows the full resolution. Now when it comes to timeline effects, you can still toggle between full resolution and proxies. For example, call up the effects ribbon with Ctrl-Tab and add a 2D transform. Scale the media within the frame. When you toggle between the full resolution and proxy, you should see the difference. If you render the timeline effects, Smoke will render the full resolution result as well as the proxy result. You are able to toggle between the two settings and access both renders immediately. So the proxy workflow in the sequence is quick and non-disruptive. Now let's switch over to ConnectFX and examine the proxy workflow in the compositing context. The proxy keyboard shortcut is also mapped to Control-P. So when you toggle the option, each node should indicate the proxies are in use. And you will also get a border around the viewer as another visual indication. When working in any node, you should be able to switch between proxies and full resolution as needed. This will certainly help when working with very high resolution media, and you can easily toggle between proxies and full resolution. As a reminder, you can either use the Control-P keyboard shortcut or switch between proxies and full resolution using the pop-up menu. Now when it comes to rendering, it does not matter if you're viewing the proxy or full resolution result. When you press the render button in ConnectFX, or even in the sequence, a full resolution version and a proxy version of the result will be rendered. This is because proxies are project-based, therefore the rendered result will have a switchable proxy. Looking at this in the viewer, you can toggle the proxy on or off. As a final reminder about the proxy workflow, you can only turn it on or off before creating the project. It is currently not possible to change the proxy settings once the project has been made. Hopefully this will give you a great speed boost and a better interactive experience with high-resolution media. Comments, feedback and suggestions are always welcome and appreciated. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe to the Smoke Learning channel for future videos.